You guys must have picked up a lot of those beginner tips in that previous video pretty fast, because a lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, asked me in the comments below to make a guide on Vi's electrics. And so that's what we're here to do today. I took the past couple of days to actually practice her electrics more and more on my end, so I can show you guys how to do them, practice them, and overall utilize them once you get comfortable with her electrics overall. This is something that I mentioned in my previous video that you didn't have to learn how to do if you just want to learn how to pick up Vi for the first time, but it is something that you should progressively learn how to do if you want to graduate and improve with this character and learn some more advanced gimmicks and techniques with her. So in this video, we're going to be talking about why you should be learning her electrics, how do you perform them, how do you practice them to get them down consistently, and also showing you guys some combos that utilizes the things that we learned throughout the entire video. So I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. Let's go ahead and get into why you should be using Vi's electrics. If you guys watched my previous video and you're new to 2SKL, you are probably wondering, well, in your previous video you mentioned that we don't need to learn her electrics, so why is this even an important thing to acknowledge if the base of Vi's character doesn't require you to touch this mechanic at all? And it's because there's a lot of benefits to using the electrics in her kit once you get it down and understand the strengths of it. For starters, when using her electrics, this provides her a better, and I mean a much better, combo game. Because when implementing electrics within her combos, Vi gets better corner carry, which allows you to set up for strong pressure in her best advantageous state, which is the corner. You get better damage, and then you get better meter build, which grants you access to supers a lot faster and overall allows you to kill your opponent's characters much more quickly. This is a very strong strength within Vi's kit and something that you should utilize because in comparison to a lot of other characters in the roster, Vi doesn't do as much damage as like your Dariuses or your Blitzcranks, or even like some characters like Yasuo and Echo. And so because of this, you want to be able to take advantage of all the hits that you're able to land with Vi and maximize them the best that you can, which is one of the ways that makes electrics really strong. Another great thing about her electrics, or just her charge moves in general, is that the frame data of these moves change once you get the hold timing down for them. This happens on hit and on block, which is why you're able to create these new combos that we mentioned before. But this is very good on block because it now changes the disadvantageous states that Vi normally has. It makes her a lot more threatening because now the opponent has to guess when she is at disadvantage or when she isn't. So normally when you do Vi's like follow-up off of her footwork, you can see that she's -11 on the light hit. But let's say you do the charge version. This now becomes -8, granting her better frame advantage than she had before. She's still negative and it's not her turn, but this allows her to manipulate the frames a bit more in order to take advantage of the spacing that she's now been granted. So since the charge version is -8, you would think it's not her turn, but as you can see, Echo just got counter hit. And this is because one of the other great benefits for using the charge version for Vi is that she's able to cancel out of her footwork follow-ups with footwork forward or back, which she's not normally able to do on the regular version. As you can see, I have to wait until she fully recovers to go back into footwork. So because of this, you can play some interesting mind games with your opponent now, and it's kind of smoked them for trying to punish you for going for certain things, when in actuality it's still technically your turn after all. So now you're probably wondering, well, how do we do electrics? Well, electrics are technically tied to multiple parts of Vi's kit. For instance, in our last video we talked about how her S1 is chargeable. This is an electric that she has as well, and what's great about this one is that it's plus on block. She's in a very advantageous state. She's able to take her turn, she's able to apply mix up, so on and so forth. This is one of her better versions of her charge of moves. But she also has this charge ability within her footwork follow-up stuff we talked about earlier with the light version, the medium version, and the heavy versions. When using these, you're primarily going to be using light and medium as part of your main combo filler or your main ways to approach your opponents. But more importantly, you're definitely going to be using the main reason why people call these electrics follow-up medium, known as her upper. Upper is probably the strongest electric she has, as this is the main way that she's able to increase her combo potential, and she's able to overextend pretty well with it. So for instance, as you can see, when you get the timing down, you're able to kind of launch and juggle your opponent a bit more once you get the timing down. And what this does on blocks, as you can see, it leaves her at -1, meaning that characters that don't have a jab that's 6 frames or faster won't be able to take their turn back from Vi when she applies her perfectly timed upper on their guard. Now, when it comes to the games of using her electrics, it's all about timing, and you want to be able to have visual indicators or some form of indicator for yourself in order to understand when the perfect timing occurs. Now, since primarily we're going to be talking about her upper, the visual indicator that you want to look out for Vi is that when she fully extends her arm back, and that's when you can perfectly release for the upper. This is the timing that you want to aim for, especially on the first upper, because the good thing about Vi's charge mechanics is that after the first rep, following up with another one tends to be a lot more lenient and easy to do within her combos and pressure. Now, another thing you'll notice that when she does her upper is that you'll see a gust of smoke emit from the gauntlet within the first couple of frames. This is something that you can use it as a visual indicator, but I will be honest, due to the human reaction when we see something visually, you're probably going to be slightly too slow in order to get the perfect timing, causing you to miss it. This is why I say you want to look for her pulling her arm back at a certain point, because that happens just a frame or two right before the smoke emits. Now, in order to practice this, all you need to do is come to your training settings, go to bots, come down and make sure the bot position is standing, that the block is set to after first hit, and that the block level is set to all. You want to do this because in order to get this perfect timing down, you're going to be able to practice essentially looping it. Now, when first getting the upper down, I just go for 1 rep and just see how it is on its own, just so you can kind of get a feel of how the button is supposed to go when doing it. Now, remember, do not hold it all the way down, because you do automatically get the upper if you just hold it down, but you want to be able to time yourself as soon as you see her hand comes back. Now, once you get that timing down and you feel comfortable with it, then the next step I would say to do is implement it with her other footwork follow-ups. So the easiest one to do so is footwork light into medium. This is something that you want to get used to doing, because normally in order for upper medium to land within a combo, she needs another move that has enough advantage on hit in order for the 2 moves to link. So when practicing this, you just want to make sure that you get the timing down, so that if you timed it perfectly, they won't be able to block like he did just then. But if you mistime it, you're going to get echoes to be able to block, which means you didn't get the timing down correctly. But if you've done it correctly, you'll get this. You'll get a big blue burst of electricity emitting from the gauntlet, and that same electricity is going to be applied to your enemy, which means you got the perfect timing now after you did the S1 light. And you just want to be able to practice this every time. Want to see how consistent can you get with it? I normally have a rule that I need to hit it 5 times in a row for me to count it as that I'm getting the timing now. You guys don't have to do that. You can do 3 if you want, but for me, I normally challenge myself to do a bit more. But you guys get the idea. Be sure to practice this timing and get it down, because this would be the easiest way for you to acknowledge and understand if you're truly getting this pace down. Again, you want to be able to identify when Vi pulls her hand all the way back, and then you want to release as soon as the smoke comes up on screen. You want to be able to visually indicate right before the smoke happens, because you know human reactions, you might not be able to get it on time as always. After you get this normal link here, and you feel like that you kind of graduated from this, now you want to be able to implement into like a basic combo. So you'll do light, medium, heavy into upper, and see if you can get it from this. You want to practice something like this because this is more than likely the actual way that you're going to be able to land perfectly timed uppers in combo, especially when first starting out. I doubt that some of you guys are going to be ready to instantly go from this into upper immediately in a match. That's going to take some time. Shoot, I'm not even able to consistently do that within a match right now. Right now, I'm just going for these basic hits right here and making sure that I get my combo off of it, because it gives you some really nice damage. Now, you guys probably noticed that after this electric, you probably saw me do another charge move here, and this is her charge heavy. This is really simple to do. As charge heavy, you don't really do this outside of combos or like on its own, because of how long of a startup it is. People can easily knock you out of it. So a lot of times what you're doing is that you're using this as the ender to get a ground bounce to extend the combo even further after the upper. This is a really easy timing. As soon as you get the perfectly timed medium to land, you just honestly hold heavy and it automatically links into one another because of how much hit stun the medium puts it in. And then you just go for the combo that I showed a second ago. Really something simple to do, but of course there are other combos that you can expand upon to add a little bit more flair, sauce, and damage to Vi. But let's say you guys got all that down, you know, single uppers is super easy to you now, and you don't have any issues with it. Well, now it's time to graduate. We can go further. Now it's time for the double uppers, which require a bit more timing. Double uppers, same thing. Is that instead now you have to implement a forward footwork into medium into perfect timing again. This is something that's probably going to take you a little bit more time to get used to, but it is possible. And you get something like this. Now, one thing I want to point out is something I might have stated before, is that as you progressively do more uppers or more perfect timings within a combo, it actually gets easier to implement them a bit more because the leniency of the window that you're looking for is a lot more loose. What I mean by this is that now after the first rep, you don't really have to look at Vi's arm pullback. You just need to look and see when the smoke emits, because launching the opponent in the air actually grants you a little bit more time in order to link the next attack forward. And so that's what I do after the first hit. After I get the first perfect time upward, I just wait for the smoke to come up, and then bam, easy into the next one. For right now, though, don't really worry about the combo too much. Just make sure that you can link the two uppers into each other and get the timing down. This is something that even I am still practicing, as doing two uppers is pretty challenging to pull off. So right now, I'm just pretty consistent at getting one of them. I can't get two just a little bit. But it will take some time. But it did take me some time just to get here. Like, I actually fairly recently started to consistently get the second hit a bit more when practicing. I have pulled it off in match maybe once or twice, but we aren't fully there yet for its full capabilities within my entire arsenal with Vi. Now, you probably just noticed maybe a second ago, if I still keep the clip on screen, that after these uppers, I actually did my charge light as well, which is something that, again, you will be implementing within combos, as it allows you to kind of rejuggle your opponent a bit so that you can maintain them within the combo. And the timing for that is going to be a little tricky as well. But again, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just worry about doing the double electrics right now. Now, there technically is the ability to do triple electrics and like triple upper, but I am not there yet. The best triple electric I can do is what I showed you guys a second ago with doing 2 uppers into a light, but doing 3 uppers is going to require some really insane execution, as well as like some great height to get your opponent at. And right now, I'm just not there yet, and I don't even know where the first step is to get to that point. But that is like very, very advanced combos that I don't think any of you guys need to really worry about right now. The main thing you should be focused on is getting a single upper into a simple combo, and as well as a double upper into a simple combo. But that's really it when it comes to learning how to perform an electric within Vi's kit. Again, you have to be mindful that human reaction, you're going to be a little slow when it comes to visually seeing something and you acting with your hands. So you want to be able to kind of get the preemptive timing down right before that, which is somewhat of a rhythm that you can kind of obtain when doing it over time. So don't feel frustrated if you guys aren't able to get these electrics down pat as soon as you are watching this video. This is something that can take time, even hours, days, and sometimes weeks for people to actually get this timing down. But there's no issue with that. Be sure to make sure that you're taking your time with improvements, because that's the whole thing with fighting games. It isn't something that's going to happen overnight. It's a time commitment. It's something that you want to improve at, and it's like learning like a martial arts for the first time, or riding a bike for the first time. You know, it takes you some time to get used to, and I'm very confident that a lot of you guys will get it now. But for the rest of the video, I'm going to be showing you guys some combos that you can be checking out when using the electrics, and I think that a lot of you would get these down pretty nicely. But if you guys have any more questions and you want me to explain anything else, be sure to leave in the comments down below. I'll maybe either answer it in the upcoming video, or I'm definitely going to reply to you guys in the comments as well. And maybe we'll do like some shorts and stuff to answer some quick things that you want to learn about Vi or any other character in the game. But I appreciate you guys and all your love and support. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and always remember to believe in you that believes in yourself. I'll see you guys in the next one.